I'm Jillian.
And I'm Natasha. And this is Mental Mudslides.
Each episode, we slide down the slippery slopes of our minds. I've got some garden gummies, a head full of wild ideas, and zero filters.
And I'm here to ride that wave and see where our mental mudslides take us. It's all about fun, unexpected turns, and a deep dive into the wacky and wonderful.
You're listening to the After the Slide companion episode. If you haven't listened to the full episode, titled Puddle of Pants and Coffee Rants, do that now or you'll be confused.
Hi. Oh, are we ready? Is this it? I forget what I'm supposed to say now.
This is it.
Do I say it? Oh, y'all, I'm off my game. What are we talking about today? I forget. You're always so much better at introducing things, babes. Oh, well, Jillian, guess what? I have some updates for you from the last time that we talked.
Well, first I think we should introduce our guest.
We have a guest?
We have a guest.
Oh, shit. Who is it?
It's Mr. Jillian. Welcome to the show, Mr. Jillian.
Hi, Sliders. Nice to meet you.
Aw, yeah, we have to be more inclusive. I was told, but why is it the mudslide mamas? What about us papas?
Right. I'm upset that there are no mudslide papas or mudslide daddies.
Oh, mudslide daddies.
Wow, I can get on board with that.
Yeah. All right, so today is our After the Slide, Natasha. We have to follow up on our previous conversation, which was so intense. So, very first thing in the episode, we talked about your police report. Has there been any activity, police or otherwise, regarding this report?
Yes, I do have an update. Jack shit has happened. The police have not called me, and they have not emailed me, and they have not PDF'd me like they said that they would. So I did send out a follow-up saying, hey, it was supposed to be a 10 business day turnaround. It's been a month. Do you care about my pants? They have not responded.
No response. So, Mr. Jillian, how did you feel about the police report?
Well, it's about like I would have expected. I would not have expected the police to care about the pants, though I will say Natasha did a fabulous job describing the pants. I listened to the slide before I saw the picture, and when I finally saw the picture, they were exactly as I had pictured them in my head. So, great job.
Thanks, Mr. Jillian.
So this is an exciting thing. We are actually going to let our mudslide mamas and papas, or mudslide mamas and daddies, I think is what we decided on, see the picture of the pants if they A, go to our Facebook page, which you can find us at facebook.com/mental mudslides, or subscribe to our newsletter, which you can find on mentalmudslides.com. You'll see the sign up for the Mental Mudslides newsletter, and you will get to see the actual photo of the pants in question.
Yes, that's right. And there's been another update. Jillian and Mr. Jillian are in town, and I showed them the location of where I found said pants.
Mr. Jillian was not with us.
What?
No, he did not see the location of the pants.
Damn it!
He is still in the dark.
Oh, that's right. It was Mr. Jillian Jr. was with us.
Yes. Yes. So we decided to have Mr. Jillian on the call, not only because he had so many follow-up questions, but also he was a subject in our last episode. It was his credit card that was stolen for the Spirit Airlines.
Right. Okay, yes. It's all coming back to me now. Yes. Okay.
It's all coming back to me now.
Oh,
So, has there been any additional activity on the stealing of your credit card?
There has not. The credit card was canceled, the money was refunded, and no harm was done.
Except for to the poor saps that had to fly on Spirit Airlines.
I mean, life choices. That's what they get.
So it was actually a Spirit Airlines gift card that was purchased.
It was a gift card? How did you know?
It actually said on the credit card statement.
Oh, Natasha, you called it. You see, this was additional information I didn't have available.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like, if you're a criminal, how stupid are you to buy airplane tickets in your own name on somebody else's credit card, you have to buy a gift card to be able to like resell it or use that, right? Yeah, absolutely.
It's
Fucking knew it.
It's very true. Do you have any other police report updates or credit card fraud updates, Natasha?
I don't, but I still want to know something that I feel got left hanging from the episode.
Okay, let's hear it.
Was it Mr. Nigeria calling from WhatsApp?
It was not Mr. Nigeria calling from WhatsApp.
I really thought that you had like ruined my chance at finding like romance scam love, and I feel a little better about it. But where are you, Mr. Nigeria? God.
I don't know. I don't know where he is. There was something that we mentioned as we were talking about the pants, though. And we said we'll have to get into it at another time. Other weird things that we have found. And one of the weird things that I wanted to talk about during that episode that we didn't get into was back when I was a real estate agent, I was door knocking for an open house. And I came up to a house and I was like door knocking and saying like, hey, come to my open house, right? And there were 2 dill pickles like on the door. And I spent hours and hours. Like if they were not in a jar, they were just 2 random dill. I assume they were dill. I don't know. They were pickles, obviously.
Were they kosher?
Oh, I am unsure.
But I think one was left for you and one was left for me.
So, I spent hours and hours on the internet researching, like, is there a sign? Like, is there a spell? Like, do witches put dill pickles on doormats for good luck? Like, is this a summer solstice thing? Like, what was happening? I found nada, zero, zilch. So the mystery of the dill pickles will always remain in my head, and that was one of the things that instantly came to mind when you said that you had found something odd. Mr. Jillian, have you ever found anything odd while just like out running or on a walk or something?
Not that comes to mind. Not that comes to mind.
I feel like this is only something that you would know, Jillian, because you have like the memory of an elephant, right? Or whatever they say. Like, I think you remember the like flavor of the candy you were eating at the time that you got the grade that you didn't like in the 6th grade or whatever.
100%. 100%. That is completely me. Which is why it feeds into my scene setting is so great. Is because I can remember all of the scene.
I totally agree.
So what's next on our after the slide cleanup?
Well, I did some undercover homework.
Tell me more.
So I came to visit you recently. Unexpectedly in Colorado because my Florida trip got canceled by a devastating bastard of a hurricane.
And our thoughts go out to everybody affected by both of those terrible hurricanes.
Yeah, fuck hurricanes, they're assholes. Yeah, so during that, I thought to myself, hey, on the podcast, we were talking about when you called in to the police about the deer, and they asked you how far was the deer from the stop sign.
Oh my gosh, Natasha measured.
I sure did. I sure did, girl. All right, hold on. I did better than that. I used my GPS and stopped at the exact point past the first stop sign on my side to the stop sign that would have been the side that somebody would have like come to stop. And that's 0.1 miles away from your driveway. So then as I started driving, I realized it's probably 400 to 500 feet from the stop sign where that deer got hit. So there you go. That's amazing. Have it.
We have exact data. That's amazing.
Photo evidence from
Did I say? GPS. I said like a quarter mile, didn't I? I was
you said like a quarter mile.
Yeah, that was way off. I was way off.
Way off. I mean, I'm sure the garden gummies had something to do with that.
Maybe.
Yeah. So anyway, now we know.
Now we know. That's amazing. So have any more thought to how you would feel if you were intoxicated and had to call the police, even if you were legally intoxicated?
That's a good question. I think if I were legally intoxicated, I wouldn't have a problem calling them. I don't have much of a problem talking to anybody in general.
Mr. Jillian, would you feel weird being legally intoxicated but still having to talk to the police and make words?
Not at all. I don't really get like crazy drunk or crazy intoxicated, so I think I would be fine.
It just, for me, in the moment, it was like, oh my gosh, I have to, like, think clearly, keep your brain straight, like, what's happening, like, and so I think it was, not that I felt like I was in trouble, but I was just like, am I making sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, more than anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so what is next on our list, Natasha? Do you have our...
Well, okay, so, you know, I'm going to be real honest, and I think if you're a mama or a daddy, you'll already know this about me. I tried to listen to the podcast again so that I would like have follow-up items, but of course I fell asleep.
I witnessed this. This was actually the first podcast that Natasha and I attempted to listen to together.
Failed twice, by the way, guys.
Failed twice. Failed on listening to it together twice. The first time because we couldn't stop talking.
Yeah, as per usual.
And the second time because Natasha fell asleep.
So I actually have a funny question here that I wanted to ask Natasha, and I'll fill in on her for her not doing her homework. So I'm saving your ass here, Natasha.
Thank you, Mr.
So,
Jillian.
If you remember, Natasha, a few weeks ago, I borrowed your dog. Do you remember this?
Yes,
And,
I do.
and I took your dog hiking up in the mountains. It was one of my first hikes here in this beautiful state where we now live. And for the mudslide mamas and daddies that don't know me, I am here pretty much alone. I have moved here by myself without my family, and Natasha is pretty much the only family that I have in this general vicinity. And so an interesting thing happened on this hike that you do not yet know about.
Oh, shit.
Uh-oh.
Oh, my gosh. If this has anything to do with the hot dog scenario with me and Otis, I'm going to lose my shit. Okay, let's see what happened.
So we may have to segue and find out what this whole hot dog situation is. That is not at all what had happened. So I had borrowed Natasha's dog and taken it for a hike in the mountains, and we had pulled over to the side of the trail to let another dog pass, and I backed into a cactus. And for a week, I went around until I flew back to my home state of Colorado, back to Denver, with cactus tines.
He had cactus in his ass, y'all.
I had cactus in my ass, in my right ass cheek. Now, it wasn't too bad because I happened to have a wallet and I had some dog poop bags stuffed in that pocket, so it was only a small portion. But the question I have for you, Natasha, being my only friend here in New Mexico, could I rely on you could I extend the boundaries of our friendship to tweeze away cactus tines from my ass?
There was no one else that could have helped him. If he had asked you to tweezer the cactus tines out of his ass, what would you have said?
Something else. Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, I'd be happy to take you to urgent care, or maybe to like the vet. I think a vet could help with this scenario. Yeah, I think if I could have gotten to it from outside of your clothes, I would 100% do that for you. Or if we had found out that it was like a poisonous cactus. I mean, I don't want your husband to die,
Right.
but I don't really know how close to his ass I actually.
That's fair. That's fair.
That is a fair answer.
It's fair. In fact, I was going to tweezer the last cactus tine out of his ass, but he hurt his back a different way because, like, it's just like you just blinked too hard. You hurt your back, so I couldn't even help him. So, do you still have that last one in your ass, or did it work its way out?
I feel like it might be still there.
I will investigate and let you know in the future.
You know, if you had asked me that, I might have called my mom and seen if she could come out to like help. Because I feel like moms, I am a mom, I guess, but still, like my mom.
Yeah, it's
You
different because it would have been like the age difference. The age differential probably plays in, right?
Yeah, or maybe like I could have asked one of my friends whose mom lives here, if they could come help, right?
Mm-hmm.
A local who knows more about cacti than I do. You know, I'm not from here originally, so I don't know anything about a cacti.
So I do just want to say it was high cheek. Like it wasn't down by the hole. Like like I could have just pulled my shorts down just a little bit, like you would if you were gonna get a shot in your ass. It wasn't like we didn't need to expose the whole situation.
Oh my God, I have a nurse friend. I would have totally called her. Yeah. We would have figured something out. I mean, you kind of told me you had an accident with a cactus. I just didn't know, like, how deep it was, I guess.
She didn't know how close.
How serious it was. Yeah, I mean, I've been, barbed by a cactus, but I was able to, get it out myself, so.
My first question when I heard this was, how did you get home? Did you have to, and like, I was like, did you, like, there's cactus in your ass. Like, how did you get in the car and drive home? He just held up.
Yeah, I just raised one cheek like I was gonna let one rip, and I rode that way all the way home.
Oh my goodness.
And now you know why Jillian loves me.
Yes. Well, I will say this. Otis is a bad luck charm when it comes to ass accidents. So I'm not surprised, to be honest with you.
Would you like to tell us about Otis's other ass accident? Or are you not ready for that to be on the podcast?
You know what? It's fine. It's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. I might change my mind later if I hear it, but we'll see. Okay.
Well, you don't have a lot of time because this is getting published right away.
Mr. Jillian, do you know my Otis ass story?
I do not.
Okay. Well, it was not a dark, stormy night, just a regular night, Jillian.
Okay.
But my daughter and I were in my room, and, we were kind of just, doing what girls do and kind of chit-chatting and having fun, right, before bedtime. And so we were just messing around and kind of joking back and forth, and I went to go lay down on the bed, right? So she's facing towards me, I'm facing towards her, so we're going to be kind of like laying face to face to one another and kind of just giggling and chatting, right? Mm-hmm. And as I go to lay down on the bed, Otis decides to get up and roll over at the same time. So, Mr. Jillian, you're familiar with a hot dog and a hot dog bun.
I am.
Right? So the hot dog bun, when the hot dog goes into the hot dog bun, it kind of just lands between the buns, right?
I think I know where this is going.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Right? Not vertically, perpendicular, right? I want to make this very clear. It was perpendicular. So the stars aligned, and as I go to lay down, and as Otis goes to readjust, his little boxer nubbin tail hot dogged my butt cheeks. and so, oh my gosh. All right, and so we also know that Otis is a very happy-go-lucky kind of guy. And he has a very rapidly moving tail. And so there was a lot of slapping.
Oh my God.
For what felt like a century. Just slapping butt cheek to butt cheek, butt cheek to butt cheek. Like back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. As I'm fully engaged in full eye contact with my teenage daughter. I still, in this moment, it's one of the most violating experiences I've ever had in my entire life. I've never felt so vulnerable. I've never felt so ashamed. And honestly, kind of dirty. Like, I'm like, what? Like, I didn't know what to do.
I mean, you had an intimate moment with a dog.
No, how dare you? Thank God.
Against your will.
Thank God I was not wearing a nightgown. That's all I have to say. Thank God I was wearing pajama pants.
Right.
I can't even. Like right now, I'm still.
You're
Like, it's
visibly
still-
bothered. You were visibly upset by this right now.
I understand the humor of the story objectively, but as the victim, it still fucking haunts me. Yeah, Otis was not allowed in my bed for months, and he would whine and cry, and I'm like, fuck no. Fuck no. Rapist. You know?
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's my Otis ass story. Yeah.
I do not have an Otis House story. I am innocent here. So.
Yet.
No! Well, I'm going to be washing my ass around your dog.
Good call. Good call.
Yes. Oh, okay. Well, is there anything else that we needed to follow up with?
Yes, as a matter of fact. So, Jillian, I kind of am wondering, after you've listened back to the episode, how are you feeling about the coffee these days? Have you had any changes in your perception or thoughts on the topic?
No, fuck buying coffee for other people. I'm still out. I'm still 100% out. I know that it's the most common beverage. I know that it's there. I just don't think that it's a thing that should be expected. And in fact, I've really been thinking a lot about expectations that just became social norms. And there are quite a few of them.
Well, technically everything is falls into that category. Anything that is a human interaction is an expectation that became the social norm, whether it be shaking hands, saying hello, saying goodnight, all of those things. Those are social norms, and none of them are technically required, but they're part of what operates our society.
But you don't have to purchase a handshake for the person that you're meeting.
Sure, and they don't have to purchase your course.
I'm not selling a course at a lot of these. I'm giving free trainings at most of these events.
What's the point then? What's the value add for you if it's fully free to them and there's no kickback to you? Why are you doing it? Out of the kindness of your heart? Or because if that's the case, no coffee.
It was my job to provide a class for them, but I was not selling them anything for that particular thing. It was for a sales rep to then come in and hopefully create a relationship with them.
Yeah.
But I was not.
This is not a not-for-profit operation. That's my point, right? Is you are trying to lure in a customer. Whether the training itself is free, nothing in life is free, let's be honest. And there is some sort of kickback somewhere that's happening at some point. You were paid to do it, maybe not from them directly, right? And they're there to be sold. And so a little coffee as an investment, when it's a social norm for decades, I'm not saying that you're right or wrong. I just think I'm interested to see like why you're so passionate, thinking that people, if they want something, they should bring it themselves, right? Kind of a topic, but there's so many other places in life that you don't think that you think things should be provided, right?
I think for the most part, I feel like you should be providing your own stuff if you need it, right? Like, I think ahead to what do I need if I'm going to this place, and I'm packing it and I'm bringing it and I'm thinking about that kind of stuff. But it seems like coffee drinkers do not think ahead in that space.
Or they do, but they've been trained to expect that because that is what is normally happening. When you're packing, you go, hey, I have a specific food allergy. I need to bring stuff. If you didn't have that food allergy, you would expect that there would be food available to eat at places that you're going, if they are restaurants, as an example, right? So, I mean, I get your point that it is not like it's a nice to have and that you would like to change it, but like you're passionate about like people should be bringing their own stuff because they should be bringing their own stuff. You have to change that dynamic before that, right? Like that's I think more of my point, right? So if you want to be the leader and like the change, by all means, right? But don't be surprised when people think there's going to be, coffee at a meeting or like chairs, like, well, what are we going to do now? Like I have to bring my own chair because I know I'm going to want to sit just in case there's no chairs. Like where does it end? And then also the coffee is valuable to you. It really is. Like it keeps people doing something and engaged and kind of a bit of a captive audience.
I'm still not changing my mind on this. I'm sorry. I just really think that showing up and being like, oh, I'd be so pissed if there wasn't coffee there. If you were that passionate about needing the coffee, I feel like you should have it.
But this coffee phenomenon is so much broader than just meetings and conferences, because when I was in the military, the coffee was the thing. It was everywhere. It was in every office. It was on every ship. Anywhere that you would go where there was a meeting or a workspace, there was coffee available. That has translated into my office life. I'm an IT guy. I've worked in an IT office most of my career. There is always coffee. Usually high-end, great coffee in every office that I've ever worked in. And even when I was a Boy Scout leader and we would go and we would do these camps out in the wilderness, there was still coffee and it was provided. So this coffee thing is way bigger than anything else.
I gotta be honest, I feel like if cocaine was legal, this is what would be there. It is a stimulant and it's legal. I think that's the underlying thing. The reason all companies will pay for coffee but not for something else is because of the value add they technically get back. And they might not think of it that way anymore, but I think that's where it roots from.
They're not necessarily handing out Marlboro Reds either, which is also a legal stimulant.
That was actually mentioned in the episode. Yeah. That Natasha thought that if it hadn't been socially unacceptable, that it would probably be one of the things provided.
Like a vape?
Right. Well, maybe. Well, no, because here's the thing, right? With coffee, if you're drinking it, it doesn't impact me. So I'm not being, exposed to it without my consent, where with cigarettes, that's harder to do. But I do think, if cigarettes were still as popular as they were at that time and they were still allowed in public buildings, I think it could have gone that way. I really do.
We also see this with alcohol. A lot of times you'll see in an office, especially in a Mad Men setting or someone's private office, where they will have alcohol that they'll give out, or an open bar. So there are other, intoxicants. Wow, I cannot say that word today. Intoxicants. I give up.
Intoxicating substances. I don't know if you know this, but if you can't say a word, you just change the whole sentence structure so that you can just skip right over that word.
I'm here for it.
That's rural.
Rural.
Out in the country.
BFE.
BFE.
I don't want to say what that means.
No, I'm sure that's been canceled, as we mentioned on the last episode. Okay, well, I'm still seeking that Monster sponsorship. They did not reach out after the last episode, but they did come up with a new flavor of Monster that I tried this week. It was Ultra Guava something or other. Did not replace Ultra Paradise in my lineup. Ultra Paradise is still my favorite, probably the hardest one to get a hold of, it seems like. So just an update on that.
Thank you for that update.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So Ultra Paradise is staying in the pantry.
Yeah. Yep, that's the one.
Fair enough.
All right. I think that is everything that we had in our last episode of Mental Mudslides. Did you have anything else that you wanted to clarify, wrap up, or do we have any other questions for Mr. Jillian?
Well, I just want to say it's been so nice having you guys around. I've seen you so much recently, and I'm so excited to have another live recording of a podcast.
I know, it's exciting that we're doing this live. We're gonna have to kind of, it was a little crazy on our tech setup tonight, so we're gonna have to refine that a little bit. So hopefully the sound quality is good.
Yep. But I do have, maybe we can get into this later, but I do think coming up, I have a couple of topics I want to talk to you about in our next, one of our future mudslides.
Yes, well, our next episode, I believe we have already recorded this one, and I don't remember what the topic is. So it will have to be not our next one, but the next one after that. Tell us a couple of topics that might be coming down the pike.
Well, I think I may have come up with a brilliant new product that I need your input on.
You have a product idea? That's normally what I bring to you is dumb product ideas, Natasha. This is going to be a fun turning of the tables.
baby, you're wearing off on me. I don't know what to say.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
And then also, I've been out here in these streets dating for a while, and I think I may have found a through thread on what makes like a good date, like just in general.
Ooh.
And I had to get in general in.
I know.
Right. We haven't said it yet.
You know what? We might need to have like a shot counter of in generals for each episode.
Or some sort of fun like key phrase. Like what is that? What is that insurance guy, the general? Is there some sort of fun like noise that they have for that we can just play like every time?
Well, Mr. Jillian, I believe that you had a comment around this.
I did. I think that every time that Natasha says shut the front door, there should be a squeaky door noise.
Any other requests for sound effects? Because you said that you wanted to hear a lot more sound effects, and I'm kind of a little bit afraid of making it sound a little too kitschy. So tell me what else you think might sound good.
I'm going to have to think on this one, but that one is definitely it. We don't want to make it too gimmicky.
I mean, gimmicky is kind of my brand of humor, let's be honest.
I kind of wanted to know what too kitschy like qualifies as, Jilly Beans. Like, what are we talking about?
I don't know. Like, my humor is like corny to the max. That's what I think is funny. I think that is good marketing. I think, honestly, like, if I could remake a Double Mint commercial to sell title insurance, I would do it. I mean, that is why, like, that is, like, my vibe.
Yeah, so we'll just add it all in and see how corny we can get, you know?
We will see. Well, is there anything else that we need to talk about today?
No, I don't think so. Until next time, Mama. Say it again.
And daddies.
And daddies.
We'll see you next time. Be sure to go to our Facebook page or to our website, mentalmudslides.com, and sign up for our newsletter so that you can see the photo of the puddle of pants and missing shoes in our next newsletter.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.